Hello everyone! Today I'm doing something a little different from my other videos and I'm reviewing the Parkoo dual tip art markers. Parkoo sent me this box of 80 in exchange for an honest review video, and they're not paying me to do this. This exact product on Amazon is $36.99 for this set of 80, so it's quite affordable. It would be 46 cents per marker. And other markers in this class include Ohuhu, Shuttle Art, Touchnu, and so on. I've tried the brands I've just listed, so I'll be comparing Parkoo to those. First things first, let's look at the packaging. It comes in this plastic box, which I like a lot. It flips open and secures with these two clips right here, like this. And it has a handle on top, which it makes it good for carrying. It's very nice. I won't need to buy or make a holder for these markers since it's sturdy enough on its own, and it's clear so I can see the markers inside. Most other markers in this class come in this flimsy Cordura bags, which I usually just end up throwing away anyway since they're not good enough to be cases. Here I have this one I got from Ohuhu and this one I got from Touchnu. As you can see, I just took the markers out and put it in another case because they're really not usable as their own case. And so this box was a really refreshing change. It's really nice. Also, the bottom of the box, they have little niches for the markers to sit in so they're not just flying around freely in there. It's very organized. I really like it a lot. They're not rolling around like crazy. As you can see, I just shook it up quite a bit and they're all staying in place. I really like this packaging. Next up on the list is the design of the marker itself. As you can see, it has the bullet nib on the one end and the chisel nib on the other. Also, the barrel is not completely round. It's sort of this rounded triangle shape, as you can see. It's a little prone to rolling. This is on my completely flat desk. My desk is not on an angle. If I get it rolling a little bit, it kind of is a little bit prone to rolling. And I'm going to compare this to my Ohuhu markers. My Ohuhu markers, they do have a round barrel, but they have these little plastic bits right here which prevent it from rolling. So they don't roll as much. So it kind of would be nice to have a bit of a plastic stopper on these, but it's not the worst thing in the world. And as you can see on the end of the cap, it has a number and the name of the color. And the thing about these numbers is that this came in a set of 80, and when I go on the Parkoo website, 80 is the biggest set that they sell. So you would think that the numbers would only go up to 80, but the highest number from this 80 set is 182, which I thought is a little unusual because I would expect these kind of numbers from a company that sells a 200 set. So that was a little bit unexpected, but I think I have a theory as to why that is. Because I was looking at these markers and they are identical to the Shuttle Art markers. This is a brand I've bought before and it's in the same class. It's about the same price. And not only that, they also have the same numbers and the same colors. So what I think is going on is that all these cheap brands, they kind of use the same colors system and the same number system, and maybe one of these brands sells up to 200, but Parkoo is not one of those. So anyway, that's something I thought was a little strange. But yeah, this marker, it's pretty basic. It's not bulky or anything, it's just pretty normal. It's pretty average. Nothing terrible and nothing special, it just is. So, just a pretty normal, not very noteworthy marker design. Next thing I'm going to talk about is the color selection you get with this 80 set. When you open up the box, you'll see this piece of paper with numbers printed on it, and it's so you can fill it out and make your own color swatch. As you can see, I've already filled it out. But the thing about this paper that you get is that it's sort of a cardstock. It's not as smooth as some marker papers, so when I was filling it out, it kind of looked sort of grainy. I didn't feel like it was quite accurate as to what it could be, so I also went ahead and made my own color swatch on Bristol board, which is what I normally draw on, so I could see what those colors were a little bit more accurately. And as you can see, the colors do look a little bit more different on the Bristol board than they do on this cardstock. For example, this 166 right here. It's sort of this pale green, but on this cardstock it's so pale that you really can't tell what it is. But on the Bristol board you can see a little bit more clearly that it's green. So I thought that was interesting. That is something to keep in mind, that what paper you draw on does affect what the colors look like. And I thought that the color selection with this 80 set was actually really good. So you get a wide range of reds and purples and blues and greens and yellows and browns and grays. The only color I would say which is pretty lacking is the oranges. So you only get pretty much 3 oranges, which is this, it's hard to see on camera, but it's like a highlighter orange, this dark orange, and this, it's almost red at this point. So if orange is your favorite color, you're kind of missing out, but there's really not much to complain about. It's pretty diverse. But one thing that was really interesting, as you can see in this corner, is the silver and gold. I have never seen this before, but they're more of paint markers than alcohol markers. They're metallic and they will cover up any line art that you have. So not something you would want to color in a drawing with, but you can get creative with what you're going to do with it. Maybe signing your name after finishing a drawing. But I thought that was really interesting. It's kind of see it in the light. It's really shiny. It's metallic. That's something I've never seen before, so pretty interesting. Alright, so I thought this colors were pretty good. Now we're going to put these markers to the test with an illustration. Here I've already made the line art for the drawing I'll be doing today. A Lexus LC500 with Mount Fuji in the background. Let's get started. So right now, I'm going to focus more on the blending. On this part here on the hood, it blends pretty softly from this red to the white. So what I'm going to do is take this pink color and the base red color. I'm going to kind of mix the color on the tip of the nib and hope that it blends pretty well, since there's really not any in-between colors between the red and the pink. So let's see. So anyway, that's working out kind of well. When I use my Ohuhu markers, they seem to blend a lot better than these do, but this technique is sort of working. Alright, now that I'm done drawing the LC, I'm going to take a closer look at the blending. It's a little streaky right here, and I feel like the technique where I put the darker color on the lighter colored nib to blend it, it wasn't enough to bridge the gap between this darker base red and the pink. You can tell that it did create sort of an in-between red right here, but I don't feel like it was enough to make it work super well. So, anyways, I'm going to move on and draw the background now. So that was my illustration using Parku markers. I think they're better than the shuttle art markers I've owned before. They're less streaky and the color choice seems to be better. But I don't think that they're better than my Ohuhu brush markers. I haven't tried the Ohuhu bullet nib markers, however. That being said, you can't beat the price of these markers. For less than $40, you can get this whole set of 80. And the color selection is diverse enough. If you're more advanced in art, I'd say skip these and go with the Ohuhu brush markers. If you're more of a beginner trying to get into markers, then this is a safe way to get into them without worrying if the investment is worth it. I think these markers would be really good with adult coloring books. And with all that being said, I'd give these markers 3 out of 5 stars. Parku are decent beginner markers, and there were no glaring issues. I'll provide links to where you can buy these markers in the description. Alright everybody, have a good day!